It's Wednesday, and you know what that means. It's the Super Speedway Fall Classic racing from the Slingshot Racing League. Welcome everyone, I'm Chris Smith, joined in the booth tonight by both Wesley Pistol and Chase Berry. Tonight we're going to bring you live racing action in the street stocks from Michigan International Speedway. This is the Motor City 80. The 2-mile D-shaped track was built in 1968 in the Irish Hills of Michigan, just 40 miles outside of Detroit, and was designed by the same man who designed Daytona. For years, auto manufacturers marked this track on their calendar in hopes of claiming bragging rights in the nearby auto industry hub. Cale Yarborough won the first NASCAR race at the Speedway on June 15, 1969, in a thrilling duel with Leroy Yarborough. The two drivers battled door-to-door for most of the final 150 laps. On their final circuit, they touched twice entering turn 1, with Yarborough brushing the outside wall. Coming out of the final turn, Leroy spun and crashed just 300 yards from the finish line, handing the victory to Cale. Wesley, Michigan is known as being one of, if not the fastest circuits in oval racing, with speeds With speed comes danger, and over the course of its 50-plus year life, Michigan has seen its fair share of accidents, including ones that ended the careers of names like Chip Ganassi and Emerson Fittipaldi. In open-wheel cars, the NASCAR side wasn't immune either, with Ernie Irvan suffering an accident that left him with a 10% chance of survival. Wesley, while we know these aren't real race cars, how do these drivers go out and balance speed with a chance disaster?
Yeah, there's a lot of factors that go into this race tonight. I would say these cars are more built for short tracks, not for big tracks like Michigan. So they're going to be kind of put to the limits at the speeds they're running tonight. I've been surprised at how they've been pretty stable in practice as we've watched them. So um, as far as that goes, the cars look like they're handling pretty well, but that might also instill some bravery in some of these guys to make moves that maybe they shouldn't, or they might be thinking, I got to make this move to pass or go for the win. So that coupled with the some of the quirks of the racetrack, turn two, the banking falls off pretty abruptly. So some guys are going to have to anticipate that and make the right moves to deal with things like that. So yeah, there's a lot of balancing danger and speed and decision making, and it's all going to make for an exciting show. I'm sure of it.
Yeah, and we're lucky to have two Apex Energy Series drivers with us tonight. Not only Wesley Pistol, but also Chase Berry. Hey, Chase, what do you expect the drivers are going to have to deal with tonight? Judging by what we've seen in practice, it's probably going to be a pretty crazy show.
Yeah, I think it's going to be pretty crazy. Looking from practice, there's a lot of side drafting, pushing. I've seen 3-car tandems, 4-car tandems, 3 wide, 4 wide. So it's going to be one wild show, I imagine.
I think so too. Well, before we get started tonight, before we start qualifying, we're going to go to a slingshot tradition and play the national anthem. So we'll be back on the other side to bring you some pre-race stories before we get going. All right, everybody, we are back. And while we're back here, before we get going here in qualifying, we're going to take just a moment real quick to check out the point standings so far. We've had a great start to this Super Speedway Fall Classic this season. And so far, Justin Wilson has broken out to an early point lead. Even with everything that happened last week at Talladega, Justin Wilson still holds on to the points lead. Kevin Winker currently in second. Steve Spease, our winner from Talladega last week, currently just 6 points behind in the third spot. Steve Karosik in fourth. Brad Patt in fifth. Scotty Sobzak in the sixth spot. Edward Scherer Jr., our Daytona winner. He's looking to rebound from a little bit of bad luck last weekend at Talladega. Rocky Boyd III, Trevor Trago, and Jay Haishman round out the top 10. Man, tonight, guys, Chase, it's going to be a lot of chaos probably on track is what, from everything that we've seen so far. Last week's finish was super, super tight, very, very close at the line. You think there's a possibility we could see another photo finish like what we had at Daytona for the season opener?
Absolutely. I I think it's gonna be a 3 wide. If there's not a big one, I think it's gonna be a 3, 4 wide finish at the end.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all. And, we've seen in practice, Wesley, you kind of alluded to it, how stuck the cars were. Do you think that, 3, 4, maybe even more than that, 5 wide, do you think that's a possibility with these cars around this track? It's pretty wide.
Yeah, no doubt. There's plenty of room here. The surface is still fairly new, and the cars look like they're handling really well, from what I could tell in practice. So yeah, I'd expect them to. Maybe they'll take it easy early on. I don't know this is the first time I've had a chance to watch these guys race in this series, but they might take it easy early on just to try to log laps, and then once you get down to the closer to the finish, they may start making some more aggressive moves. But yeah, I'm sure it'll be pack racing and at least 3 or 4 wide, if not more.
Yeah, absolutely. And Chase, you brought it up. If we can avoid a big one, I think that's a big question here. Are we going to have the big one? I think that, we ran a recruitment race here in the preseason, and we actually did not have a big one until the very last lap in that recruitment race. And I think it's kind of, what you guys mentioned about how stuck the cars are around here. I've only saw there's not a big speed variation from in the corner to the straightaway, so that's something that we'll be keeping an eye on tonight. Before we actually go ahead and check out the qualifying action on the track, we'll go ahead and show you guys the schedule, all of our viewers. And before we get too far, we just want to give a quick shout out to all the viewers in the YouTube chat. We see you right now, Don Hilbrins. Thank you so much for watching tonight. See Ellen Thomas saying that Ellis and Ellen are both watching tonight. See Paul Thomas in the chat. We're so happy to have all of y'all join us tonight. Thank you very much for watching the broadcast. Hey, if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please go ahead and do so. It helps support the YouTube channel. It helps support the league. Drop a like if you like what you're seeing here on the track. We think that we got a great show in store for you tonight. This might even be our most exciting race of the season, but you see right there, Michigan, 40 laps in the street stocks around this track right here. We'll talk a little bit about the street stocks here in just a second during qualifying, but next week we'll have some next-gen action at Atlanta before we take a week off for Thanksgiving and wrap this short little fall series up with the trucks at Daytona. So the checkered flag has fallen on practice right here. We'll try to watch a little bit of qualifying action before we get rolling here for the race. And what are these drivers going to have to do? We'll start with you, Chase. What are the drivers going to have to do on this qualifying lap? What's a good super speedway style of practice that you try to employ when you qualify?
You're not gonna believe this, but run it wide open. I mean, I know it's hard to believe, but wide open, get the motor round up, then get to the bottom second lap. But I haven't really seen the street stock how good they accelerate. So I don't know if it's going to be they get up to speed, but I'm on board. I'm on board with Justin. He's running high, coming to 3 or 4, come to the line. So I assume he's getting it wound up and then heading to the bottom and holding it to the bottom all the way around here before his money lap.
Yeah. So Chase mentioned right there, Wesley. Holding it wide open. Yeah, it's easy to do. It's easy to qualify. Around one of these super speedways, but qualifying on the front row, it's really, really tight usually. There's not much separation in the field. Why would a driver, as we're watching Steve Karosik right here running up on the top, why does a driver run up there for their qualifying lap, their first lap?
Yeah, that's obviously the longer way around. Which whenever it's time to run your money lap, you want to go the shorter way around because that's obviously going to be the shortest path. But on lap one, where you're just trying to get the engine wound up, you'll want to run up high because that gives you a little bit more distance to get the momentum going, and you also keep your wheels from getting bound up, so you don't have to turn the wheel as much whenever you're so you don't scrub the speed from the front tires being turned. There's also a little bit of a banking loss, I feel like, at the bottom of the turns here at Michigan, so you kind of stay away from that on lap one. Use up as much banking as you can, as much radius as you can, and then lap two you'll get down to the bottom once you have wound it up as high as you can. Get down to the bottom and run your shorter distance around to get a better time.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up that banking difference. Down here at Michigan, you see where Kevin Winker's running right there. It's a little bit less banking down there. This is probably one of the first tracks that had progressive banking, and I don't even know if they really intended for it to be progressive banking when they when they are originally designing the track. So yeah, it's a little bit less banking down there. So be curious to see. I think that once we get 3 and 4 wide, and especially with these cars having less power, be curious to see where the guys on the bottom run. Do they go down there to that yellow line, or do they run like a lane up? So that's something that we'll keep an eye on. Chase, where would you typically see one of these street stocks in real life? Would you see it going around Michigan like this?
I don't know if you can hear me, but my internet's going crazy. But
yeah, we got
no, I don't think so. All right, cool, even better. No, I would think you'd like to see him at your local dirt track, short track, and beating and banging.
Yeah.
That's where I like to see him at.
Yeah, so this is a little bit of a strange combination. You don't see these cars too often at a super speedway like Michigan. But you mentioned usually you see them at a short track, at your local short track, and there's all kinds of rules across short tracks across America. A lot of times you'll see this car, maybe with the windshield out of it, maybe with, it might even be just a street car, with the interior gutted out of it. So it'll be interesting to see these cars that are typically on the short tracks roll around Michigan tonight as we watch Rocky Boyd get into a tank slapper here on his qualifying lap. We've got about a minute left here in qualifying. Steve Karosik is currently the fastest, and his teammate Zachary Lima is P2. You guys have raced with those two on the Super Speedways so far in the Apex Energy Series this season. They've been pretty steamy on the Super Speedways, haven't they?
Yeah. Last time I checked, I'll go through YouTube, and I always see Steven and Lima running up front in every league. I've seen them run at the Super Speedway, so they know what they have to do to get around Super Speedways and stuff like that. They're really good.
Yeah, there's not really a guy in the field. As I'm looking through it, there's really not a guy in the field that you're like, oh, that guy, he's kind of going to be out to lunch here with maybe some more experienced guys. Otherwise, everybody in this field tonight, I feel like, is going to have a shot to win tonight. So you've got a pretty stacked, level playing field, I would say.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree. As qualifying wraps up here, and we'll take a look here in just a second at our starting grid. And as the driver's grid, we'll go ahead and take a look at that grid. And the winner of the Evan Pienta Designs Pole Award is Steve Karosik. And it's so funny. His teammate Zachary Lima, starting P2, they ran almost identical times, all the way down to the thousandth of a second here for the start of this race. Great qualifying run out of both of those guys. Starting on the inside of row 2, we've got Kevin Winker. After a great run last week at Talladega, he's going to be starting in third. And we've got Scotty Sobczak on the outside of row 2, starting in the 4th spot. Rocky Boy III, he will be starting 5th tonight alongside James Suggs in that number 20 Woo Woo Garage car. Starting 7th, Chris Blassie, who had a great run, a podium finish last week at Talladega. And Justin Wilson starting 8th in that number 58. We're going to get plenty of shots to that car tonight. Starting in 9th spot will be his payday teammate Johnny Rapp. And to the outside, Raymond Hanneman starting in the 10th spot. Trevor Trago will be rolling off 11th tonight. He'll be looking to rebound after a little bit of trouble last week at Talladega. And Patrick Colby starting on the outside of row 6. Edward Shearer Jr., our Daytona winner, will roll off 13th. And the rest of the starting grid will be Brad Patton starting 15th, Jay Heishman in 16th, and James Ledford rounding out the field in the 17th spot.
I don't know if you noticed this, Chris, but there's only like 23 hundredths of a second from among the drivers that took time, so it's a pretty tight window as far as lap times are concerned in qualifying.
Absolutely, and that just shows you, you guys have both mentioned how stuck the cars are and how easy they are to drive. There's very, very, very little separation between them, so it's going to be very interesting to see how this transpires tonight as the field begins to roll off of pit road and they'll form up here. What's What's something that you want to try to avoid here in the opening stages of the race, Chase? Is there something that you're possibly going to have? Like if you're Justin Wilson, Johnny Rapp, your payday teammates starting back here in 8th and 9th, what would you do if you were them on the opening lap here?
I'd be patient. I like to be, I'd personally be patient. But knowing them too, they want to go to the front, lead every lap, and have a good time doing it. And one thing I noticed though, these front ends don't match up with the rear end. So that pushing, they got to be delicate with that pushing. If not, it's like a ramp on the front end to the rear end. It's just gonna lift the rears up. And also, I heard every lap Johnny leads is 1 beer for tomorrow. So
oh my gosh,
we need Johnny to lead some laps.
Yeah, and I suspect he will tonight. There's a big incentive to lead laps here in the Super Speedway Fall Classic. You get some points for leading laps. So yeah, and that I think that's one reason why we've seen such crazy racing action so far this season. We don't really see a lot of drivers that are just hanging out and riding around in the back. They're usually going for it. So hopefully we'll see a lot of that action tonight. Field's working its way through turns 3 and 4. The Dale Cup teammates of Karosik and Lima make up the front row. Let's see if they'll work together tonight to try to control the field like they've done in the Apex Energy Series. Pace car pulls off. Field forms up, and we are green at Michigan.
They're going to hang Lima out to dry here, looks like, going into 1.
Yeah, that's Scotty Sobczak up on the outside in that number 81. He's got some help from James Suggs, it looks like, and the field's already starting to get 3 wide.
The inside line seemed that they were going to organize a run together at first, but they've all fanned out to 3 wide already.
3 and 4 wide action as they come off of turn 2. That's Rocky Boyd the third on the inside right there, trying to take the lead from Karosik. Karosik and Lima are together. They are hooked up. And we'll have to watch that bump drafting that you mentioned, Chase. We'll have to see how that works all night. And it looks like Lima is pushing Karosik through the corner. Karosik gets loose. He's able to hold on to it, though. 42 of Kevin Winker up the middle right here. He's got some drafting help from Justin Wilson. Justin's going to take that car to the inside, and we're 3 wide behind the leader, Rocky Boyd.
Yeah, as I noted, Justin said, I'm going to the front, and he wants to lead every lap. So he's 3 wide on the bottom, heading into turn 1. He's pretty much down there by himself with 2 on the outside of 3 wide. So let's see if he can make that work. I mean, I know the middle lane's got the run right now, so we'll see what he can do.
Oh, as Boyd gets turned sideways by the 42 of Winker. He's going to hold on to it, though. And they're still 3 wide. You guys are right. It didn't, they're not getting single file. They are 3 wide. They're not afraid to go 3 wide. Man, I'm watching that outside right there of the 27 and the 26, and Zachary Lima is not afraid to push his teammate Steve Karosik around the corner.
Yeah, in practice, they did a lot of tandem. So if any 2 guys can tandem around here and do a lot, they wrecked each other a lot in practice, but I think they figured out how to tandem around here without actually upsetting the front car. So I think those 2 are going to be the ones to beat here.
Yeah, a lot of trial by error went on there in practice, seeing how hard they could do it, and that's the time to do it. That's the time to do it, to see what you can get away with here in the race. Coming up the middle behind Kevin Winker right there, we've got the number 9 of Patrick Colby. Patrick is, as you can tell, he's a big Ryan Blaney fan, and he is sporting that Ryan Blaney paint scheme here tonight in honor of the NASCAR Cup Series champion. So that's pretty cool to see. As Rocky Boy gets a little bit loose, here comes Winker to the outside. We're going to be 4 wide. Some contact.
Yep. Oh gosh, they're spinning.
Justin Wilson spinning the inside. Patrick Colby involved. I think everybody's going to get away though.
Yeah, I don't think anybody hit anything. They all just spun out, and everybody did a good job avoiding it. So I think there should be no damage. Their tire's going to be hot, but the car should be in okay shape, I think. Yeah,
we'll go back and we'll see if we can see what transpired here. Here they are coming into turn 3, and we'll watch the 9 car patch. They got 4 wide, I think, and there was just a lot of bouncing off of each other. Yeah, it looks like, the hole just really closed up. It looks like Kevin Winker was coming down a little bit. Patrick Colby was trying to give him room, and he got down into the door possibly of Justin Wilson. Is that how you guys saw it as well?
Yeah, I don't even think the 4 wide really mattered. The 4th guy on the outside was so high up, he really didn't play a role in the crash. The other three just seemed to kind of squeeze into each other, looking for the same real estate. Maybe didn't realize they didn't have as much room as they thought they had, and then it all went sideways.
Yeah, and you can see right here, Patrick Colby. Yeah, looks like the outside right there, Kevin Winker was just moving down a little bit too much, and Patrick just kind of got squeezed. And Justin Wilson also. We'll actually ride on board with Justin. We rode on board with Patrick there, so we'll actually go back here and see the spin through the grass that the driver of the 58 had. They just all sort of squeezed together, ran out of room.
I know you're working hard to show the replay, but the entire field pitted. Everybody, I believe.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, so maybe these guys right here are thinking possibly, this might be their one pit stop. I'm only showing the 42 of Kevin Winker and the 85 of Raymond Hanneman staying out. Everybody else, it's like they came down pit road.
Yeah, 2 guys stayed out. I think we determined the field window's 40 laps, though, right? Or 28 laps, right?
Yeah, I think it's 28 laps roughly. And if we run, these caution laps here and maybe one more caution, that will possibly be it for the pit stops tonight. And maybe in the draft they can save a little bit. How are you guys can jump in right here. How are you guys able to save fuel in the draft on a super speedway like this?
Well, I know what works for us is basically why in the draft be half throttle and just kind of feather the throttle around and not be full throttle and let everybody in front of you pull you. And the person out front's going to take the most gas because obviously they're breaking the hole in the air. So as long as you're riding line, but if you're the last car in line, you're going to burn up more gas than the cars in front of you because you're trying to keep up with the draft to help stay in there. So your best bet, you want to be in the middle to save the most gas, but you also don't want to be in the middle for the wrecks.
Yeah, if you're not going for the lead or trying to make moves or trying to make passes, there's really no reason to stay full throttle. You just don't have to. I mean, you're going to run into the back of people if you do actually. So yeah, the best way to, if you're in the middle of the pack, you can, like you said, just be half or 3/4 throttle for a lot of the way around, and you'll save tons of fuel by doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. And we got some more drivers that elected to come back to pit road. You think they're just topping off right here to maybe ensure that they can make it to the end?
I don't know. I think Justin got damaged, so he's trying to probably fix a little bit of damage he's got left, top it off, of course. And I think Johnny's gonna stay with him just so he can have help come through the field, because based off that first start, it took one lap, and Justin's from 12th to 1st. So I don't think the runs are a big deal, or they're a huge deal. So I don't think track position is really key. It's all about finding that hole and trying to find the run, which seems like there's plenty of runs out there.
I wonder if tires are a concern. I forgot to check. How many tire sets do they have in the box?
So they got 3 sets in the box, so they'll have plenty of opportunities to change with just a 40-lap race here. So
yeah, that may be what the concern is. That they got plenty of tires and may have all come in and taken them there while they can. Make sure you get fresh tires, and then your handling will be optimal for this next run.
Yeah, Pace car is going to pull in right here, and leading the field, two drivers that did not pit that time, Kevin Winker and Raymond Hanneman. We'll see how this transpires for those guys. Green flag is out. We're back racing here at Michigan. Kevin Winker gets a good jump.
Yeah, he doesn't want to get too far out, though, because the guys behind him will organize and they'll have a big run on him, so they may gang up on him here.
Got a lot of lane swapping going on. Rocky Boy III moving down here to the bottom. We saw him be very aggressive and go for the lead earlier, as Karosik is actually going to take the lead away from Kevin Winker. Karosik getting a big push right there from Rocky Boyd. Field's a little bit more tame this time.
Yeah,
they may have learned their lesson.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely looks a lot calmer. I noticed we still got people in the back just hanging out. I think is that Trevor Trego, Shotgun Charlie on the back. So I feel like he saw how aggressive it was, and he's just hanging out, just make sure he has a car for the end. It's good to see Trevor out here. Haven't seen him in a long time. Hope he does good.
Yeah, absolutely. Trevor is he's raced with us in Slingshot a few times, but yeah, we haven't seen him in the A-Pace Energy Series this season. Hope we'll see more of him, and glad he's definitely out here. Always like having him be a part of Slingshot. As we got a battle for the lead now. Rocky Boyd is not satisfied with riding behind Steve Karosik. He's going to go to the outside of that 27, getting a good push from Kevin Winker. Kevin is returning the favor from that push earlier. Edward Shearer Jr. working his way up into this battle right here. In that Roasted Jim's Coffee number 7. He is pulling up on the back bumper of Karosik, our Daytona winner. So, while the field is a little bit more tame than they were before, they're still not afraid to go up there and charge up there to go for the lead. As we got Karosik and several guys underneath the white line. Oh, some contact. Several cars involved. James Suggs is involved. The 85, Raymond Hanneman, also involved. I think this is the car, if I'm not mistaken, that had... I saw this one get sideways first, the 85 of Hanneman. We'll go back here and we'll see if we can see what transpired to cause this. Oh, yeah, that car, it was sideways. Wonder what... Oh, okay, so this maybe looks like a bump draft possibly gone wrong here.
Yeah, it looks like he got into his left rear a little bit, had a little run, hit him in the left rear, got him sideways, and the 85 came down, hit Chris, and then just squarely, and then corrected into the 20. Good save by the 15 though.
Yeah, we'll actually take a look at Chris Blassie, our third place finisher from Talladega last week. He was on the bottom lane right here. Yeah, it looks like some contact from the 26 of Zachary Lima to Raymond Hanneman, and man, yeah, Chris Blassie gets down in the grass, somehow holds on to it, does a really nice job. This is an innocent victim there, as was James Suggs. We'll also take a look at James. Wonder how significant the damage is on his car. He was on the outside here. He was just kind of riding here on the outside, and yeah, the 85 of Hanneman gets in trouble right there. And yeah, that's some pretty significant contact for James, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's still, I mean, we still got like, what, 20 laps, 30 laps to go, so maybe be able to get it fixed up and make it to the end.
Yeah.
But we'll see all about the cautions. The more cautions he got, then he'll be able to get it fixed.
Yeah, absolutely.
It looked like he may have taken suspension damage on my end. It looked like the left front tire was wobbly after the collision happened, so he may be in pretty bad shape.
Yeah,
just curious, does this have the new damage model?
You know, I'm not sure. That's a good question. I'm not sure if it does. The damage actually looks really good on the cars, though. That's something that I was noticing as well. So it very well could. It very well could have the new damage model. As these drivers make their way down pit road, I think that this is the stop right here. I think that this is the stop right here where these drivers will feel good about making it to the end.
We have one stayed out, Scotty Sabzak.
Yeah, driver of the number 81.
I like it, but if they're going to keep coming down and taking, pit, because, they wear their tires out every 5 laps after a caution, if they keep taking tires, they're going to run out of tires before the end.
They will.
So then it comes the tire strategy game.
Yeah, with as many cautions as we had here in just the first few laps, that's definitely a possibility. Hey, everybody, we're going to take a moment here to take a very quick break, try to pay the bills, and hear from some of our sponsors, including Apex Energy. We'll be right back on the other side of the break. All right, we are back here at Michigan International Speedway in the Super Speedway Fall Classic from the Slingshot Racing League. Leading the way right here on lap 12 of 40, we've got Scotty Sobczak and Rocky Boyd III on his outside on this restart. We've seen Boyd up near the front all night, so he hasn't been afraid to race super hard. Looks like lights are back on the pace car, so we are not going green this time. So far, you know, the action has been pretty intense, and you guys mentioned before, you know, the amount of tires that we have here, and if these guys continue to take tires on every single pit stop, you know, we could see this turn into a situation where at the very end of this thing, somebody's got tires left and somebody doesn't. What have you seen so far? Have you seen a line, Wesley, that you think stands out as far as being a little bit faster than another one?
Honestly, I'm not sure if a specific line is. It's as far as line on the track. Now, it's just whoever gets organized better. It seems like two cars, once they can get together and work together, they can pretty much go wherever they want to, pass who they want to. Hopefully that answers your question. Not so much line on the track, but drivers getting lined up, I would say, have a bit of an advantage over guys that aren't as organized right now.
Yeah, I totally understand what you're saying. And Chase, you know, as we get closer and closer to the end of this thing, you know, we're still, obviously, we got a ways to go. You know, lap 20 is going to be the stage number here. You know, where would you want to be, you know, coming to the checkered flag? Would you want to be, you know, if you're too wide, 2 lanes, would you want to be on that top lane? Would you want to be second in that top lane? Where would you want to be?
I feel like I would want to be on top. Just not top, but like middle lane. That way, like, you can, to drive aggressive, you have to pinch the bottom. And if you pinch the bottom, maybe scrub enough speed off to where you can just get the run by them and hoping that your teammates are behind you. Because if you're by yourself, you're not going to be able to do anything.
Yeah, absolutely. It takes some help. You got to have that help. And if you are on that outside lane, you do have to do a fair bit of pinching in order to, you know, try to control where that inside line is. Coming off turn 4 right here, you see the lights are off on the pace car. Pace car is going to duck down pit road right here. Scotty Sobczak, only driver who did not pit on this caution. He's going to lead the field down to the line. Geico restart zone. He's going to punch it right here. Green flag's back out. Sobczak gets a pretty good jump, but Rocky Boyd's got a great push from Justin Wilson in that 58.
Yeah, I think Steven Korsek missed a shift on the start and had a checkup in the back half. So I know the back 3 guys have started to lose the draft. Hopefully they can get work together and catch back up to the main draft.
Yeah, I couldn't get my camera back to them, but I saw the same thing. There was almost a moment there in the back for those 3 guys. They're going to be in bad shape once the draft gets working. They're going to be pretty far behind, I think.
Some door banging right here for the lead between the 81 and the 16. They were super tight all the way through 1 and 2. As Rocky Boyd's got a great push still from Justin Wilson. Justin's been attached to that rear bumper of that 16 ever since the restart.
Yeah, the bottom's got to run out with the 1. Oh, contact.
They get together again.
There's still so much time left. I'm surprised how close they're running to each other.
Yeah, we're not even halfway yet. Yeah, we're coming up here on lap 20. When we get to the end of lap 20, this will be there's no stage break, but there are stage points that are on the line at the conclusion of lap 20.
Oh, that explains it. Okay.
yeah. The points paying window is now open. I want to point out, I think if it does go green till the end, if Trago and all them can get back up, I know there's a couple guys stopped and topped off on that caution. I wonder if after when they get back to green, they can make it to the end. By the way.
That's a great point, and we'll have to keep an eye. Oh, some contact. Boyd and Sobczak hard into the wall. Blassie, Winker, several cars involved. Rocky Boyd gets another hit. Caution is out once again. Man, I gotta say, I did not expect this to go this way tonight. I thought that we would run green a little bit longer than this. We'll definitely take a look back here and see if we can see what transpired, but looked like there was a lot of door banking going on between the 81 and the 16.
Yeah, It looked like the one gave the 81 a
Oh
wrong
yeah.
push, and like I said, the bumpers didn't line up. So, and especially it's hard to push in the middle of the corner, and you jack his rear end up. He just squarely had nowhere to go going up the track. That's one part worst thing about we're in the bottom. You get squarely, you move up the track trying to save it, and the person on the outside pinching or trying to ride your door happens.
Yeah, I think that maybe the one was maybe slightly moving to the right, making kind of a lateral move as he got to the 81, and that picked his back tires up off the ground and spun him.
Yeah, this caution right here was not what a lot of people wanted to see. Obviously, Rocky Boyd involved, Scotty Sobczak involved, but it is a great break for Karosik and Trago right there, who had lost the pack. This will enable them to catch up here. We'll actually go back here. We'll ride on board. We'll ride on board with the one of Brad Patton, as he was right behind the 81 of Scotty Sobczak. And as you guys mentioned, just looked like just a bump that just got that 81 slightly out of shape, and we can see the chaos behind transpiring right there. Chris Blassie involved, hitting the outside wall right there. 42 of Kevin Winker involved. Lots of cars involved.
And it's not something where you're like, oh man, the one he just made a massive mistake. What is he thinking? That's just part of bump drafting. He just kind of eased into him, and sometimes it works, but then sometimes it can be catastrophic. It's a very, very fine edge from calm to chaos there.
It absolutely is. Absolutely. Well, while this caution is going on right here, we'll take another break right here to hear from a couple more of our sponsors, pay the rest of our bills. We'll be right back on the other side of this break.
Are you looking for high-quality, affordable sim racing paint schemes and graphics? Then look no further than Evan at Evan Pienta Designs. Driven by speed, Evan Pienta Designs offers a multitude of sim racing graphics, from liveries to social media graphics to team and series logos. To see some of the work done by Evan, or even race one of the public liveries he's made, head on over to tradingpaints.com and search Evan Pienta. How do we get these one-of-a-kind amazing trophies? Well, we were fortunate to find UD Awards when we started our league. We reached out and we connected with Christopher, and we got started designing these one-of-a-kind works of art. The process was easy from start to finish. After just a few revisions, we finalized each one of them, and the team at UD got to work building each trophy from scratch. They're a small team, but they've got the ability to do just about anything your brain can imagine. And don't worry, if you're not an artist, they've got an entire catalog of unique trophies in pretty much any material you can imagine. Wood, acrylic, glass, and in the case of last season's trophy, metal. The best part, they're affordable. If you're looking for a trophy for your event or league, the choice is simple. UD Awards can give you exactly what you want.
All right, everyone, we are back here at Michigan International Speedway for the Super Speedway Fall Classic from the Slingshot Racing League. I'm Chris Smith, joined here in the booth tonight by Wesley Pistol and Chase Berry, and there has been no shortage of action so far in just a 40-lap affair. We're only 18 laps in, our third caution so far, as these guys are racing really, really hard, and they're about to race hard here for the next 2 laps, as there are stage points on the line here at the conclusion of lap 20. We will see who gets those, as Justin Wilson and Patrick Colby lead the field down. Wilson gets a good jump in the Geico restart zone. Johnny Rapp, his teammate, pushing him past the start-finish line, and we're back green.
I wonder if what happened to Trago, like he fell straight to the back. I wonder if he's trying to just hang out in the back, or he missed a shift to go to the back, because it caused everybody to string out, except for in the back to 3 wide.
Yeah, I wonder if he's having some kind of hardware issue, maybe with a shifter or something.
Very well could be, as you know, this is not the first time that we've seen. I didn't know if he got caught up behind Karosik on the last exchange, or what happened there, but yeah. Oh, we got a car in the back that is smoking. I think that's Kevin Winker, and I think the engine is going south on that car in a hurry.
Yep, I believe that one is a meatball.
The drivers are, I was about to say the drivers were single file as Patrick Colby says, enough of that. He wants to go for that second spot. He goes to the outside here of Johnny Rapp. And you got Jay Haishman on the bottom there in the 06. That's another Slingshot regular who's making his return in that 06, and he's going for the lead.
Yeah, I've raced a lot of races with Heishman. He's a pretty good buddy of mine. It's good to see him out here.
He is getting a big push.
Yeah, he's got a good pusher in Lima. Every time we run Super Speedway, he's always the one pushing. So I noticed he can push. So if any person to have you want to go to the front, Lima's the person you want behind you.
Yeah,
Jay's by himself now. He may be here. He may be in trouble here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he might be.
Teammates.
Yeah, we
got the Payday boys, and you got the Lima and Corsac boys.
Yep. Payday teammates, the 58 and the 52 coming up the middle right there, and Justin Wilson's going to get a good push right here to take the lead. You got the Dale Cup teammates right behind them. They're going to line up with the Payday cars. And Patrick Colby all by himself on the outside. Jay Heishman all by himself on the inside.
I can honestly say I'm pretty sure that's what Justin's face looks like in the front of 58 right now. That's what he looks like. Every time he leads, he's got a big old grin, just like the front of his car.
You think he's smiling just like that right now?
That or complaining, but nah, he's smiling. He's always having fun.
Yeah, he's definitely in his favorite spot right now, and that's up here at the front. That's definitely the best place to be.
Jay's hanging tough here. Look at this. He may lead this lap.
3 wide for the lead, still then 2x2x2.
Yeah, Heishman right here on the inside's got some help now, and Patrick Colby's been up on that outside the whole time here, and it's just maintained. You don't see a huge difference in mid-corner speed versus end of the straightaway speed. That's one thing that I've been trying to keep an eye on all night long right here as Johnny Rapp right here is pushing Justin Wilson about 150 miles an hour here at the end of the straightaway, and the slowest speed, 4 wide here, Johnny Rapp.
Yeah, Lima and Corsac forced it 4 wide, but it was had a hole, forced it, and split up the Payday boys.
Oh, they're tapping. Look out.
Everybody holds on to it, doing a nice job. Here comes Lima with a good push from Korosik. Brad Patton getting up in the mix of this. We talked about this during the commercial break while we were away, but Brad Patton did receive a penalty for that push that caused that wreck just a few minutes ago. Nothing intentional on the driver of the one's part, but he was handed a penalty for causing that caution. But it's going to look to get back up in the mix, as Jay Haishman said that I've seen enough, boys. I'm going to fall to the back.
Yeah, I wonder if he got his stage points and he's like, you know what? I'll just fall in here, cruise for a few laps, and duke it out whenever it really counts again.
Absolutely. Rapp with a good push on the outside now by Patrick Colby.
Yep, I wonder whenever he gets clear, he moves down. You think? Yep.
Getting back with his teammate.
Yep. It's just going to be a team battle. So if I'm everybody else, I wonder they have a gentleman's agreement to all work together. Like, is that the Menards car? It's Colby and Sobzak, and who's the pink car? Is that Patton?
That's Patton.
Yeah.
Yep.
I wonder if those three just work up and just try to pass them and work together.
They very well.
I feel like that's the only way that's going to beat them.
Yeah, they very well could, and you know, we mentioned teammates. Placeholder Racing is Sobzak and Colby's team. Those guys are in the same channel tonight, so that's another pairing that you mentioned that they might decide to work together here. Right now they're side by side. As Johnny Rapp had Justin Wilson a little bit loose right there. We see the inside line as well. The Dale Cup teammates also very loose. A little bit of door banging going on right there as we come to the start finish line.
Yeah, that's weird line that Sobzak was running just to the travel cut, and I wonder if he was getting hot, if these cars even get hot or cooling off or something. But 2x2.
That's right. Yeah, I'm not sure. He might have been getting hot. I'm not sure how hot these things get, like when they're running, super, super close. But that's definitely a possibility because he was down there pretty low. Back behind the pack right here, just sort of watching things. We got the 06. I'm trying to keep an eye on these guys as well. The 06 of Jay Haishman and the 48 of James Ledford. You mentioned it, Chase, earlier during the commercial break. James Ledford did a nice job making his way through that crash as Sobzak's down in the grass again.
Yeah, I wonder. I'm curious. I'm gonna have to ask him about that after the race because it's something weird. But hey, if it's working, it's working.
Yeah, he's not losing any time running down there. Maybe it may not be that he's getting hot. It may just be he's trying to build some overhead, keeping it extra cool. So whenever he does have to really get after it, he'll have that extra room on the temperature gauge to be able to be aggressive with it.
Very well could be. Absolutely, that's a good point. And watch the payday teammates right here on the outside, the Dale Cup teammates on the inside. Nobody can get an advantage. Everybody's just sort of deadlocked right here, and it just shows you how, you know, even these cars are around a track such as this one.
Yeah, I think that we still got 14 to go, 13 now, 12. I don't know. I'm a math teacher. I can't figure it out. But yeah. I mean, I think once we get to about 5 to go, we'll see them go crazy, and I'm curious about those guys that, like Haishman and Ledford are able to catch back up once they start getting dicing. And then who knows if there's another caution, then all the people who are staying back and relaxing, who think they're going to be another caution, you know, enjoy it and they'll set it off for themselves.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think that James Ledford, I think he might have gotten a little too far back here. I don't know.
I was going to say the same thing, actually.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for him. I don't know if he's got some damage maybe that is hurting the performance of the car. But if there's another caution, maybe he can get the rest of that fixed up and, you know, be a contender.
Do you think there is one?
Do I think there's another caution? I don't know. I think that we could go. I think we could go green here. I think it's got a really green look to it right now.
If it's iRacing, my answer is always yes. There will be another caution.
Yeah.
As the teammates on the inside, Karosik and Lima, are now by themselves. They've been abandoned by all the other cars. We'll see if that outside line, if the numbers win out right here. This looks like the best the outside line has been as far as, you know, a run down the backstretch. We'll see how they look down here at the front stretch. Everybody stays committed to each other.
Yeah, I'm curious to see Sajak drop back. I'm wondering if he dropped back enough to pick up the one. Like if he's, you know, trying to help the one out a little bit to be able to slap back up and to get the extra numbers for him and Colby to be able to do something with the front two pairings. I'm on the blimp screen.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a good possibility. It's definitely a good possibility. As man, it doesn't seem like the numbers. It doesn't seem like the numbers are winning out. I think that you mentioned this earlier, Wesley. It doesn't seem like, you know, it's necessarily the line. It's necessarily the amount of cars you have. It seems like, you know, how close the cars are running together. If the cars are super, super close together and tied together, then that's the best way to make up time. As, you know, Karosik and Lima don't have anybody else with them, but look how they're able to maintain.
Yeah, and I think these guys are all realizing there's no need to get real crazy yet. Like Patrick Colby's not right on Johnny's car at this point. He's just kind of riding. Once you get closer to the end, though, once they start beating and banging, you may see the organization really make the difference, or they may all just spread out and go tandem 2 by 2, and it'll be every man for himself at that point. But yeah, they're not getting real crazy yet.
Maybe they know they're broadcasting, be like, "Oh, we're gonna fan out 4 or 5 wide for the finish to give the viewers a great show."
Oh, you guys are fully aware of the commentator's curse that we have this season in the Apex Series.
Definitely.
Anytime that we talk about somebody, it seems like bad luck strikes. I'm blaming it mostly on Ellis, and I know he's watching, so I can fully blame it on him. But
all right, Johnny.
Yeah, I mentioned Patrick.
Don't do that to him.
Preemptively apologize.
So we'll keep an eye on that 52 car and that 9 car right here as Scotty Zobzak's doing his traditional line down the front stretch here.
I really don't know why he's doing that. I mean, he has nothing to lose or gain really by doing it. It's just strange, but we'll have to ask him after the race is over, maybe.
Yeah, have to see what the strategy is there. Field working their way down the backstretch here. Still 2 by 2. Zachary Lima, Steve Karosik on the inside. The Dale Cup teammates, 58 and 52, still committed to each other on the outside. The payday teammates.
Looks like they lost Jay.
Yeah, Jay might have opened that gap up just a little bit too much. Yeah, we'll give a quick shout out to Jay right here. He is about 4 seconds back. That's looking like it's growing. James Ledford as well. A little bit of damage maybe on that 48, but not a lot. Trevor Trago.
You and I mentioned this last night. These cars are pretty low powered, so momentum is really big. Jay lifting there to get out of it. It's a safe move to stay out of a crash, but his momentum is so far gone that it ends up making him lose the draft there, looks like.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a good point, and maybe Jay wishes he could have that decision back here. But hey, there's still 8 laps to go. Plenty of chances for trouble to break out.
If they wad him up again, he's in the safe zone back there.
Absolutely. That's the positive to look at. Chances of getting tore up are basically negligible, as Brad Patton. Brad's on the outside right here, looking to the outside of Patrick Colby. Doesn't have a lot of help.
Yeah, he's the only one by himself in the alliance, because you got Sobzak, Colby, and the 2 Beta, and then Korsek and Lima. So pretty much Patton's the only one that that has no allegiance to anybody.
So if you are Brad Patton, what do? Are you going to work with maybe Patrick Colby here as he goes to the outside with him?
I think he's going to work with whoever gets him to the front.
Yeah, and you got Sobzak back there too. He could have possibly hooked up with him. A little loose on the leader there.
Yeah, tires are starting to become worn now.
Yep, I was going to say, you probably got some tire degradation happening at this time.
So is this a car track combination where you can wait until the very end, wait until the last lap, or do you need to work to build up the momentum, work to build up the run?
I think you got to wait for it. I think you got to start making your move off the exit of 2 to build up the run to make your move into 3 and 4. I think they're only going to have one shot at it on the last lap, because if anything earlier, you can just shut it down. And as they go 3 wide, I guess they're making their move now.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's gonna take multiple laps, I think. It's hard to pass the leader, it seems like. So it's going to take a few laps, I think, to really build up enough of a run and momentum to get by the leader.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the bottom 2 are doing a great job. They've been tandeming a lot. Like I said, they did I mentioned earlier, they did a lot of that in practice. So the fact that they're able to stay tucked together a lot, it's pretty good.
The only thing is, Lima looks like he's a little loose on exit each time. I mean, Karosik's doing what he can to keep their momentum going, but every time he does that, he's kind of putting Lima in a bind because he's getting his back end a little loose on him.
So we talked about this a little bit in the pre-race. Do you think that could be a possibility of that being that inside line, having just a little bit less banking down there from that inside seam all the way down to the yellow line?
Yeah, maybe. I think more the tires are wearing, and that's probably more to do with it than the banking itself. These cars are like, compared to the big fast Cup cars, are quite a bit slower, so they handle pretty well. So I don't think the banking is a huge part of it. It's just Karosik is being really, he has to be. He's being really aggressive, pushing him, and that seems to be upsetting things a little bit. 3
wide here, tandems. Working their way through turns 1 and 2. Tandems of teammates as Scotty Sobzak, hopefully he is not losing these tandems right here. We see him losing a little bit more ground, Oh, as some contact between Colby and Wilson down the backstretch.
Yeah, I wonder if the 2 on the bottom are burning their stuff up more often because they're trying to wrap it and not necessarily continuing to wrap the white line. So I wonder if they're burning their stuff up more instead of letting it flow out more. So I wonder if their tires are real hot.
All it takes is just a little bit of net code when we're running this close together.
We're so close.
Sobzak might be in the right spot.
Yeah, when they all wad up on the last lap, he's home free. 3 wide, 2 rows. Teammates on the inside, teammates in the middle, and the unlikely duo of Colby and Patton on the outside.
I wonder if Sobzak is able to get the run. Nah, he's too far back now. So I wonder what happened to him, because I was thinking he was dropping back to be able to get the run on the last couple laps, but now he's so far back. I don't think he's gonna have to run. I wonder if he's waiting for him to wreck and he just takes the easy dub.
Yeah, he might be sitting in the best spot here as they're just getting closer and closer together. Oh, Justin Wilson's turned into the wall. And I think that was some contact maybe with the 9 of Colby. Those guys were just get so close together.
I know Colby had contact because he is junk, looks like, going into 1 now.
Yeah, we'll watch this from a higher perspective right here. You guys were mentioning it. It just seemed like they were getting closer and closer and closer together. I mean, you got to do it. You got to do it as we get closer to the end of this thing. And, yeah, a little bit of slight contact between them.
Yeah, I think Colby was trying to pinch a little bit, or at least trying to take the short way around, and maybe got a little too far down possibly and hooked Justin.
Yeah, you know what that sets up? A green-white checker.
That's right. Green-white checkered finish here in the Slingshot Racing League, the Super Speedway Fall Classic. Man.
I wonder who has tires left.
Well, that's what I was about to ask. If you've got tires now, do you come and get them?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think you're going to feel more confident in your car and being able to make moves if you got them. I would think so. Yeah, I think you probably come to get them.
People stay out.
Jay Haishman comes down pit road. Patrick Colby, obviously, those guys got damage.
And Trego, I don't know. I think Trego's got something. Deep down, I've been angle. I kind of hope he does good. Hoping it ain't the curse, but I hope his fresh tires get something. And I've noticed when Justin hit the wall, he hit it flush. He didn't hit it front end, back end. So I'm curious how much actual damage he has, because it was all door when he hit the wall. And also curious how well his car is after he gets it fixed.
Yeah, the car doesn't look too bad at all, does it?
Just got word that the 58 was the cause of that caution.
So that is a lot of damage to the 9 of Patrick Colby. I don't know if we'll be seeing him. It looks like Patrick is actually out of the car. His night might be over in that Menards Ford. I'm going to be really interested right here. You know, Chase, you brought up Trevor Trego. You know, Trevor's had some trouble on the restarts tonight. You know, you guys, both of y'all mentioned it might be a hardware issue. Possibly going on with Trego. So he's somebody that I think that we want to keep an eye on here with getting those fresh tires. See what type of an advantage that would be, and if he's able to get up through the gears here.
I think it's gonna be big. You know me, I love fresh tires at the end when nobody else has tires. You know, that's the way I like it. So
that's a Chase Berry staple, right?
Right. That's why I'm hoping he does go, because it's a Chase Berry staple going on right now.
Yeah, I'm surprised nobody else came in. Only 2 guys came in.
Yeah, they had nothing to lose. They were already in the back anyway, so might as well slap 4 freshes on and hope for the best.
Right, for them for sure, but I'm just surprised there weren't more that didn't. Like some of the guys toward the back didn't come in and get fresh. Unless they're out, they may all be out of tires. But I'm surprised nobody else did.
Yeah, so this is going to set us up for a green-white checkered finish here. See if these guys can get around. Just to go over very quickly the green-white checker rules if you're new to Slingshot, if you're new to iRacing green-white checkers in general. The next flag will be the green flag, and then after that, if the white flag is displayed, if the drivers cross the start-finish line, the next flag at that point ends the race, which would be the checkered flag. So these drivers are going to be looking for that white flag because they know the race will end under green if they see it. We've got an interesting little lineup right here coming to the restart. We've got Zachary Lima on the inside and Steve Karosik on the outside. Those guys, teammates, I think they want to be starting nose to tail, but I guess we can assume there's probably going to be a fair bit of communication going on in their channel here about the restart.
Is Karosik the leader? Did he have lane choice?
I think Lima was. Lima's the one that was leading, and Karosik was pushing. But I'm curious if they're just going to stay like that and just control both lanes and make them have to go on the outside.
That's a possibility.
Yeah, and if you're controlling both the lanes, we've seen how deadlocked it can get, so they might be able to control it until the very end of the race. Pace car pulls off. The Dale Cup teammates of Lima and Karosik hit the Geico restart zone. Lima gets going right here, gets a good jump. Johnny Rapp's going to try to hang with him. Karosik doesn't get as good of a start, and he's not going to be able to help his teammate, but Lima's going to jump up there. He's not going to abandon his teammate. Johnny Rapp's going to take advantage of it.
Yeah, I don't know if he should have abandoned the bottoms quite just yet. That's a good spot for Johnny to be in maybe here. Although the teammates are lined up now.
Hey, the
Johnny
fresh
Rapp.
tires are up to 6.
Oh, some contact right there from Lima to Rapp. Yeah, we're going to watch those fresh tires here as Lima looks to the inside of Rapp. Oh, they're so close entering turn 3. Brad Patton on the bottom with a good run.
Yeah, the teammates got lined up in the middle, so we'll see how good they can push.
It's going to be hard to beat those guys. Here comes James Ledford. White flag is in the air. One more lap to go around Michigan International Speedway. Are we going to get there? Yes, we are.
Hey,
We
now
will
it's
see a
either bring
green
back
flag
the
finish.
Checker flag or the steering wheel at this point.
Contact between the 26 and the 1. They're leaning on each other entering turn 1. Lima with Karosik right behind him. A good push from the Del Cup teammates. Here comes Ledford. Can Ledford give Patton the push? Wrap to the outside with Trago.
Yeah, it's going to be, hopefully it's going to be a 3 wide finish.
Just like you predicted. 3 wide coming to the line right here through turns 3 and 4. They're neck and neck. Some contact right there. Karosik's doing all he can to push Lima. Here they come. Patton and Lima. Who's going to get to the line first? Zachary Lima wins at Michigan. What a finish.
Yeah, they got organized better than the other guys did, and that was the difference. They was able to push him across the line. Great race.
Great race indeed. And for Zachary Lima, this is his first career slingshot win.
Oh, good for him. Congratulations.
You know he's going to be excited. You know that's a big win for him. So congratulations, Zachary Lima, our top 3 finishers. Brad Patton brought it home in second. A nice recovery for him. And Steve Karosik helping his teammate right here, coming home in the 3rd spot. So while these drivers come to the front stretch right here, and Zachary Lima celebrates that first career slingshot win, we are going to pull in these drivers into the broadcast booth here. And we'll see if we can get these Dale Cup teammates of Zachary Lima and Steve Karosik up here into the broadcast booth. First one that we're going to get here in the booth is Steve Karosik. Steve Karosik, driver of the 27 Dale Cup car. This is the Slingshot booth. You got a copy, bud?
Hey, I got you. What's up?
Man, you guys at Dale Cup, that's what's up. That was a great race. You guys were up there near the front all night, working really hard. Man, we saw you all up on the back bumper of your teammate Zachary Lima right there for that last probably half of the race. Talk us through just the mindset that you had there in those closing laps.
My mindset was that I was gonna just stay behind Lima there for the rest of the race. I think it was since like lap 20 or something like that. So I was pushing him for a while, and I wasn't gonna try and pass him or have him push me. I just wanted to have fun with my teammate, and it seemed like no one in the field would go with us, so we had our work cut out for ourselves, and we got it done. I'm surprised. I really thought that they were gonna get us at the end there.
Yeah, you guys did a great job. Y'all were committed to each other, and we saw on that restart right there that Lima gave up the bottom. In order to get lined up with you, and I think that's what it took. I think that you guys proved that's what it took, just being committed to each other. It seemed like that the racing could get just super deadlocked, with as little power as these cars had. Is that what it felt like to you? Just felt like you're kind of stuck?
Surprisingly, they actually got some pretty good runs, and the draft seemed pretty effective. You get a pretty good run on somebody, and if you went up the side draft, it would stall them out. So it was very similar to like the trucks or the Xfinity in a way with the draft package. It was like you're saying. I thought that we were all going to be hitting the speed limiter and just stuck, but it really wasn't like that. It was just a lot of pushing. Just whoever was able to push, I guess, the hardest was going to be towards the front.
Well, hey, man, you did an awesome job all night. You guys stay committed to each other. Any shout-outs that you want to give before we let you go here tonight?
Yeah, just shout out to my teammate Zach. I'm excited for him. He got his first win, and that was a good one. And shout out to Slingshot putting it on, and you guys in the booth. About to watch the race back here in a few minutes. That's it, man.
Well, hey, man, congratulations. Great run tonight. That's Steve Karosik, your third place finisher. Steve, go celebrate, man.
Thanks.
All right, and we will put Steve Karosik there, and we will see if we can get a word with, trying to look around here to see if I can see our second place finisher, Brad Patton. I think I see him right here. Pull him into the broadcast booth, and I'll let you go ahead and take it away here, Wesley.
Brad, my former teammate, how you doing, brother?
What's up, brother? How you been?
I've been good. It was a great run tonight. Looks like the middle line maybe got organized a little better before you guys on the bottom did. Is that kind of your take? And was there anything you could have done differently, maybe to get the win?
I mean, yeah, the middle line was definitely the strongest part. I tried doing it myself on the outside there, and obviously nobody was going to work with me for like 10 to go and whatnot. So I was like, I needed to learn how to get into this battle and go from there. So I was just riding around, just seeing what the car would do, seeing how the tires were going to hold up, and see how squirrely I was going to get by myself there.
Well, not quite the win, but I mean, second place is an outstanding finish. So it looks like you at least learned a little bit of something. I think if I remember correctly, you're pretty high up in the points. Is this pretty good shot of momentum for you going into the rest of the season?
Yes, sir. That's pretty much what I was going with. I didn't really care about the win. It would have been cool to get the win, but it's all about the points till the final race. Had some bad strategy the first couple races we've had, so this one I just changed up strategy a little bit and was waiting for the finish. I didn't really care about the stage points there, so it's all good. I'm happy with a second. Congrats to I think it was Zach that won there, and it was fun battling everybody.
Well, it was a great show, fun to watch from the booth. Hopefully, the people out in the world enjoyed watching you guys. Do you have any shout outs you'd like to give?
Yeah, I'll give a shout out to Wanted Goons Racing. It's our little organization that we got going on there. Shout out to my teammate Trevor Trego. Shout out to the boys that were watching tonight and girls. And thank you guys for broadcasting that. And it was good talking to you, man. It's been forever.
Yeah, same here. Congratulations on the second place, brother. We'll send it back to Chris.
All right, bro. Later.
All right, that is Brad Patton, our second place finisher tonight, and we will grab a quick word with our race winner, first time Slingshot winner, Zachary Lima. Zachary Lima, driver of the number 26. This is a Slingshot booth. You got a copy, bud?
Affirmative.
Man, congratulations. First Slingshot win. We saw you and your teammate, Steve Karosik, work hand in hand all night tonight. Talk to us a little bit about the game plan going in, and were you guys able to execute it just the way that you wanted to?
Yes, sir. Our plan was to stay hooked up together, and we figured out what lanes we work better in, and then we got some black flags early on in the race, but we ended up getting hooked up, and yeah, it kind of played out in our favor. Towards the end there, the middle lane, we weren't really used to the middle lane running it, but it worked out well, and he got me the dub, so I gotta thank him.
Yeah, so we were, Chase and Wesley are here in the booth with me, and Chase was mentioning you guys in practice. What were some of the things that you were seeing in practice, Chase, that Zachary and Steven were so good at?
I was curious, like, how long did it take you guys to, because you guys were able to tandem together just so much better than everybody else. How long did it take you guys to, learn each other's driving style to be able to stay tandem and be able to push?
We've been Super Speedway teammates for I think almost 4 years now. We're boring. We only run Super Speedways or similar tracks. I don't know why, but we just always team, and I don't know. I didn't feel comfortable, but it was just comfortable enough to get the job done. And Steve's such a really good teammate. We've been racing so long together, and he's a knowledgeable one. He knows what to do, all the secrets. I'm just like the the dummy who likes to go fast. So it worked out, and it was a good race.
Yeah, I've always told him I always notice you're the better pusher than him. He's a great leader. So this time it's nice to see him push you to the win.
Oh, he taught me how to push, where to cool, and all the tips you need to be good and fast together.
Well, yeah, man, you were on it. You guys were both on it all night tonight. Congratulations, man, on your first Slingshot win. Hey, any shout-outs that you want to give before we let you go here tonight?
Yeah, just shout out to Korosek, my teammate, and you guys for doing the broadcast. We're going to watch it back, and it's a lot of fun.
Well, hey, man, congratulations. That's Zachary Lima, your winner tonight at Michigan International Speedway. Zachary, go celebrate, man.
Thank you, sir.
All right, and that is our top three tonight. Great finish coming to the line right there. I was a little bit worried right there when we had that caution, but man, these drivers did an awesome job all night. Had a lot of green flag racing there in the second half, and we got a first-time winner here in the Slingshot Racing League with Zachary Lima. Great night overall. What are you guys' impression of the racing that we saw here tonight? Wesley, we'll start with you.
It was exciting. I'll be honest with you. So I've raced the street stocks some, but usually only at short tracks. And so when y'all said they're gonna run street stocks at Michigan, I was like, that sounds kind of funny. But it was a great show. I was pleasantly surprised at the action, the competitiveness, and it was actually plenty of speed too. Usually you think they're too slow for this, but there was a good showing of speed and skill and plenty of action. So it was a really fun event to be able to watch and to be able to broadcast with you. It was my first public broadcast, so I had a blast. I hope I could do it again sometime.
Yeah, you did a great job, and Chase did a great job as well. Chase, what were your impressions of the racing that you saw here tonight?
It was good. I mean, it was, like I said, it was nice to be able to see bumper to bumper to bumper to bumper, pushing and just dooring and able to be able to save it. I mean, I know we had a couple wrecks, but that tends to happen to Super Speedways. But overall, it's pretty clean, aggressive, clean driving that you would want to broadcast and be able to put on a show for the fans. Absolutely. Well,
here's our top 10 finishers tonight. We mentioned, we already talked earlier to Zachary Lima, Brad Patton, and Steve Korosek, our podium finishers here tonight. Johnny Rapp coming home with a solid 4th place finish. Hey, man, if you're Johnny Rapp right here, you're just 1/10 of a second behind the leader, but you're in 4th spot. That's kind of the tough pill to swallow here on Super Speedways. James Ledford bringing home a nice finish right there. We saw him a little bit further back, but that caution right here brought him up there for a top 5 finish. Great run for him. Trevor Trago with a solid 6th place finish. Scotty Sobzak, 7th. Raymond Hanneman in 8th. Justin Wilson, our points leader, coming in right here. He's going to finish 9th. So the points will probably tighten up here just a little bit. Might have a different points leader rolling in to Atlanta next week. And then Edward Shearer Jr. is going to finish in the 10th spot. We'll look at the rest of the field right here. Jay Heisman in the 11th spot. Patrick Colby finishes 12th. All these drivers right here caught up in crashes over the course of the 80 miles that you saw here tonight. Chris Blassie in 13th. Kevin Winker 14th. Rocky Boy the 3rd going to finish 15th. And then James Suggs is going to round out the field. Man, what a night of action. What a great night of the Super Speedway Fall Classic here in the Slingshot Racing League. Man, I cannot thank you guys enough. Wesley Pistol, Chase Berry, y'all were both awesome to work with. I hope that we get a chance to do this again, maybe in the future. I would say never about that. This was great fun. To everybody watching here from the Slingshot Racing League, I'm Chris Smith, joined by Chase Berry and Wesley Pistol. Have a great night, everybody.